another segment of Eye on You, a student production from the University of Massachusetts Lowell in conjunction with Lowell Telecommunications. Today's segment, we have the transformation of graduate students happening in Dr. Moser's strategic management course. And joining us for today, we have English students. We have Stephen Haratunian.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Stephen. Thanks for joining us
Thanks
and
for
being a guest reporter. And we also have Lee Jackson. Lee, you've been on a couple of shows before. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me again. Thank you.
And the focus of today's segment is going to be on Dr. Martin Moser's in business management at the University of Massachusetts Lowell. And I understand this is about your strategic management course, capstone course?
Yes, it is. We in the College of Management, we have a required course for all of our undergraduates and graduates called Strategic Management, and that course is designed as a capstone course where the students are put through a process where they draw on all the other educational stuff, all the other courses that they've taken, and try to put it all together in some way, shape, or form. And historically, we use case studies to teach that course, or some of the professors use a computer simulation. And we had an opportunity this semester to do something a little bit different.
These are two of your
students? These are two of my students. We have 8 students in the class.
Okay, so we have Greg Habib,
Thank you for having me.
Who is a management student, and we also have MZ Morales, who's a graduate student, an undergraduate.
Yes, undergraduate.
Oh, okay. So I'll begin the questions, Marty, Dr. Moser. But can you tell us a little bit more, like, what originally your management course, your strategic management course was like, and then how you came up with this terrific idea of transforming students to go out into the professional world? The traditional course is a class with usually 20 or more students in it, and the way I've taught the course over the years is to use case studies. We had a course with fewer students, 8. And I had last summer, before the baseball season started, saw the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy makeover for the Red Sox. And I thought that was very entertaining and interesting. And when the class started, I asked my students, half of whom I had in other classes, so I knew they were good students, whether they were interested in taking this on as a real-life project. So we start with an idea, and now, as of today, we're into implementing the idea. And then, as opposed to sort of a written case study or analysis at the end of the semester as the final project, we will have a video of the makeover. And we went through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of negotiating, a lot of brainstorming, and we've ended up with some incredible vendors and some incredible students who are willing to go through the makeover process, and they'll be filmed. And my students, I guess they'll speak for themselves as to whether or not it was a good experience educationally. They had to put up with me and my ups and downs. What did you think about when Dr. Moser first presented this idea or started talking about it in class?
Well, I loved the idea. It was a great opportunity just to be able to go out into the business world, into the actual world, and not only read about something but go through it at the same time, which I thought was really neat. And the way he presented the idea just sounded amazing. I'm excited to be where I am now in the class, and having to go through everything that we went through between the negotiating, the ups and downs, even going back to the class and having to renegotiate and figure out how we were going to take a rejection, or and just having to go through that experience was amazing.
Greg?
It was a totally unique experience going into the class.
You weren't in total shock? You didn't say, what did I get myself into?
It was a shock walking in and seeing 8 students there. And it presented itself as a unique experience and unique opportunity. And the idea was completely off the charts as far as what I've done before in college. But it was a great opportunity, and it's something you can't pass up on. It's just a great experience.
Lee?
I was wondering, Greg, how did the experience, has it helped you so far, like,
Well,
as far as getting real-world knowledge? And
well, a big part of it is, the fear of the cold call that a lot of us have, just calling up a business or calling somebody up and just, hi, this is what I'm selling, or this is what I'm trying to present to you, and what do you think? And you have that rejection, and you have all these challenges there, and that was a huge part of it that I'd never done before. We talk about it, and we work with the theory behind it, but we've never done it, and it was just a big step to do that.
Stephen?
The students who you made over, how did you go about choosing who was going to do it? Was it kids in the class, or was it other people willing to do it, or did you find people that needed it and made them?
I'm going to let them answer because that was their responsibility. I bowed out after all and said, "It's enough. You guys take this one over." And as of yesterday, we were still deciding, but they've made the decision. I really don't know at this point.
We have a website, umassmakeover.com, and we had actually students that had replied to, we had flyers that we had put up throughout the campus and just talking about it and creating that buzz, which was another opportunity that we had to experience and learn at the same time using our marketing capabilities to go out there and create that buzz. So we had students apply for the makeover and give us a reason why they wanted to do the makeover and why they should be picked, which was great for us. So we didn't really have to do a lot of, going out and searching. People came to us.
Okay.
Dr. Moser, so you have the idea, you have all the students involved. What are some of the course objectives that are going to be reflected in this capstone project? What do you want your students to walk away with? Sorry.
We should give me that question beforehand so I can think about it. The objective of the capstone course is essentially to integrate and have students use what they've learned. And also to give them what we call a strategic perspective in an organization. And they have seen, and I've seen as well, going through a process where you have a great idea, which you think is a great idea, or you have a great idea that you want to put into play, and it doesn't quite get there. And then at the end of the day, you say to yourself, time's running out, now what can we do? So I guess in a word, it would be a business or a strategic sensibility of what it feels like to be dealing in the real world with real accountability. We're dealing with real people who run real businesses, who are busy. We need to convince them that this is a good idea, and then we need to make sure they're at the right place at the right time. I mean, all these kinds of things which as Greg and Amzi alluded to, and that we talk about theoretically, but you can't capture that through doing a case study or a simulation. So I would say that we've met the sort of the written objectives of what we're supposed to do, and then we've combined that with actual experience. So, for example. For example.
For example?
For example, one thing people talk about all the time is networking. All the time. Everybody talks about networking. We can talk about it in class and whatnot. We actually networked. We networked the hell out of the university. And we ended up having what we would call in our business language key stakeholders at the university involved in our process. So we had the director of communications. We had people from alumni relations, people from admissions, and the provost who attended our class. And our approach with the provost was, what do you think about the idea? And tell us how we can do it better. And we saw people buying into the projects, contributing. The director of communications, Elizabeth James, was invaluable in terms of helping us think about how you do a project like this, and she took us through a planning process. Some of our students worked with her to develop the website,